It's rough. It's saving up and go. My name's Craig Robinson. Started here July 1 of 1997. I was a volunteer a year prior to that, so I started in '96. Almost to the day. Offered a position as a paid guy, and naturally I took it without any hesitation. So it had been a goal of mine for many years. A lot of people influenced my decision. My dad was a volunteer firefighter years and years ago. Of course, everybody in a small town was, so I had a couple of cousins, I guess, that were both on my dad's side that were Kansas City firemen. One of them was a driver at the Coates House fire, which was a big historic fire down there. Those were the big influences. My brother, some people may have heard of him, Jeff, retired from MEDAC. Was another big one. You know, hearing some of the stories and stuff that went on, and that was another big one. Kind of grew up here in Overland Park, so I remember seeing the old bread truck running around when I was a little kid, and had the one red beacon light on it, and that was a cool thing. I watched this place get built from the ground up, from the swimming pool basically. It's where we spent most of our summers. And so working in the city of Overland Park and retiring at the station here that you saw go up from the ground is a big thing. I had actually a career before this. I worked for a roofing contractor here in the city, but always was working on my plan B. So basically, you know, life got in the way of things a little bit, and kind of had to prioritize raising kids and providing for my family a little bit. And so things got a little bit more stabilized. I was able to focus on a little bit with the help of my wife and everything, and got my EMT, my Fire 1. And basically the day that I completed my Fire 1, I got on here as a volunteer. So it was kind of sort of a natural progression there. I think back about how fast I think my career has gone, and which it has, and it will for everybody. Just in that short 24 years, the way things have changed has been huge. I mean, just the way we train more now than we did back then. To get hired, it's kind of who you know. We took an actual civil service exam with an auditorium full of other people with trying to get the same position that you were going for, and it was pretty nerve-wracking. But Dennis Myers was the operations chief. Bill Janke was fire chief when I got hired. For about 30 days there was a transition there, but Dennis is the one that hired me. He's the one that I always dealt with when I was a volunteer. So he was the man, still down south. When I came on, we got hood, gloves, pants, coat, salad bowl helmet, and we shared face pieces. We had old ISI air packs that were probably at the time were top of the line. We had a little button on the side of our face piece that was wired into our radio. That was communication. Well, when I started, we had one of the dashes was a backup. We had the Pierce Sabres that were like a mile long. Yeah, nothing special there. They were enclosed cab and all that good stuff. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I rode tailboard or anything like that, but there's been a lot of changes, as far as CAFs and all the side roll protection on all these trucks is a big deal. They're really trying to take care of us. Seat belts were always a big issue here. Get in, put your seatbelt on. Yeah, it was a lot smaller. We had 4 stations back then, I guess. 6, 7 people on duty, and it was pretty much a family-oriented type thing. Probably the biggest memory that I have, there was a huge fire in the West Bottoms back in '98, and I was up here working overtime on B shift, and it was Chris Silva, Jerry Brenner, Carl Bitter, Mike Stockman. We'd run several calls during the day. I went to bed normal time, 10:30, something like that, and they came over the radio with a long tone, which always kind of jolted you up because it was something big. And it was a notification that Kansas City had a major fire going in the West Bottoms. Went back to sleep, slept for maybe an hour. They hit another tone, and I shot up out of bed because I knew, okay, they're sending somebody, and it was us. It was 451, the old Quint. And I jumped up, got my stuff on, and got on the rig, and we were pulling out. And I really technically wasn't assigned to that rig, but it was, like I said, it was kind of a free-for-all. And as we're pulling out, Jerry Brenner came out to the double doors and was like, and Chris Silva looked at him and kind of said, "You snooze, you lose." So off we went. I didn't really know what we were going into yet. We had very few details. And I remember we turned west on 12th Street, came down onto the viaduct there, and Carl yells over I think we had headsets on or something back in those days, and he says, "Boys, that's a career fire." And I looked to my left, and there was a 6-story building down there with fire blowing out of every hole in it, and it had partially collapsed, and there was a lumber yard off to the north side of that was all on fire, and there was buildings burning everywhere on different levels. It was enough radiant heat. There was windowsills that were on fire in buildings adjacent to it, and it was huge. It was the city place fire, except on the Kansas City side. I'm just proud that I worked for the Overland Park Fire Department. Like I said earlier, growing up, seeing the trucks and driving by here and seeing them sitting in this very bay, all shiny and ready to roll. And I'm glad I got to be part of that. Being the honor guard coordinator is a tough job. I remember standing at the casket of John Glazer's visitation, and I heard his wife telling somebody that they had argued the week before about whether, when you order pizza, whether you have the pepperoni on top of the cheese or under the cheese a week before, and now look where we are. I've told people that being honor guard is more than just wearing the shiny shoes. Are you strong enough to sit there and listen to that? Are you good enough that you can sit there and listen to that kind of a conversation and be able to continue? Are you that strong of a person? Are you that worthy? And I think I picked a pretty good crew because a lot of them are still there. I think something that you need to remember is that every call you go on is somebody's having the worst day of their life. And you kind of got to go, sometimes you got to remind yourself that, hey, these people are having a bad day. Might be just your ordinary EMS call or a smoke detector call or something like that, but they don't know that their house is not on fire, and they don't know that this is your 15th call of the day or whatever. And you need to go in with that attitude that you're there to make a difference, whether it be just toting mom or dad or grandma out to the ambulance and sending them off to the hospital, or putting a new battery in their smoke detector or whatever, or telling them that their house is really not on fire and it's going to be okay. Every call you go on, there is somebody that can be impacted positively by you being there. Take care of your family, take care of yourself, physically, mentally. Mentally is a big thing these days, and it'll continue because you're going to see bad stuff, so take care of yourself. I'm really proud that, as I said, you got to do your job, and I think that I've done my job. Did it on my first day, and we'll do it on my last day, and every day in between. Stationed on A battalion my entire career, and as Jimmy Deneen would say, just a little bit better. A shift. I speak about Eddie Rackley very, very highly because he was my first captain and a great guy. The big thing that he used to say was, "Damn it, boys, it's not that hard. Damn it, boys, it's not that hard. 10 days a month, not that hard." Yeah, he's right.
What else you got for me?
I think I'm about out.
Run dry?
Run dry, yeah. It's all the stories I got.
I don't believe that for a minute.
Not with that thing there.